In this lesson, we are going to cover drawing sheet zones. Drawing zones are defined by the columns and the rows along the edge of the sheet. Drawing zones make it easier to find information on large drawings and also within multi-sheet drawings. Let's say you revise the diameter of this hole, and you want to call that revision out in a note, and you want to identify the zone that this revision takes place in. That zone, according to this drawing, is zone A3. These zone numbers can be referenced in notes, balloons, view labels, and in revision tables. Zones can also exist on every sheet of a SOLIDWORKS drawing file. Let's turn on the zones so we can see them on the drawing sheet. I'll go to the View pull-down menu and then select Zone Lines. Notice the zone lines appear across the sheet. I'll right mouse click on Sheet Format 1 and then select Properties. Notice in the dialog box we have a tab for Zone Parameters. Under this tab, we have control over the zone size. These zone lines that you see here can be distributed from the center 50 millimeters apart. Or, as you can see in the screen, right now they're set to evenly sized, 2 rows, 4 columns. Now the region right below this is referring to the zone lines and whether or not they span across the entire sheet or just inside of the margins from this point to this point. Notice we can also control the size of the margins. Now I am going to select Go to Drawing Sheet Properties. The Options dialog box opens, and under Document Properties, Drawing Sheets, we have some settings here for drawing zones. Right now, our drawing zones begin in the lower right-hand corner, A1. If you want them to begin, for example, in the upper left, select upper left and close out of this dialog box. Then you'll rebuild the drawing and notice the zones begin in the upper left-hand corner. Now let's go to the annotation ribbon and add a note. I am going to add a note in zone B2. I'll type the word zone. I'm going to go to the property manager and notice we have a button for zone. A dialog box appears with a drop-down menu. If I expand the drop-down menu, I have several choices. If I select zone, it will apply B2 to this note. Or I can specify just column, which would be column 2, or only the row, which would be row B. Notice we also have drawing view 1, 4, 5, and 6. This is used when you have multiple sheets in a drawing file. So if a view, for example this front view, appeared on another sheet, we could reference that in this note, and in this note it would tell you what sheet to find that view on. I am simply going to select zone and then OK. I'll close out of the note command. Let's go ahead and zoom up on this. And it says zone B2. Now the nice thing about this, if I move this note to another zone, it updates to that zone. So that gives you an idea of how these zones work and some of the benefits of them.